Well, the Fed met yesterday. Well, I guess they already met. They announced yesterday, and I think the markets liked what they heard. Everything seems to be up across the board. BTC, after definitely some choppy action here, this was the Fed announcement. You can see all the volume on that candle, all the way up, all the way back down, looking like it was going to, reverse. Tried reversing a little bit the following candle, and then just came straight back. And by this time, it was after the stock market was closed. So rallying all the way up here, BTC in a good area. So the headwinds ahead of us now, and there's always headwinds, is going to be, so we crossed the 50, we crossed this high, we crossed the trend line, 200-day, and this high. If we're still under this high, this really isn't anything, to be quite honest with you. Trend line's a great thing. If you got a position, hold on to it. If you're looking for a position, I don't think this is the place to take a position if you're flat, if you have no position. So you need to wait for a bit of a better situation. But I mean, right now everything looks pretty good. Everything is going in the right direction. But you see my volume aggregation tool here, a little bit of uncertainty with the sellers able to keep up with it in some fashion. This candle doesn't do us any favors, neither does that one. So we're in a little bit of a situation um, where things aren't as clear, but they're good. They're up. They're up. So you want to stay with the market direction. We need to cross this high, and then everything is on the table. All highs are on the table. But you got to get over that high first. You got to get over the first higher high. And then you're good. You can call this a higher high. If that's the case, then we've been good for a while. But in my opinion, that's the swing high right there, anchor point of the trend line. Now, crossing the trend line itself is good. If you want to take this and give it, say, to the trend line, maybe just give it 5%. You probably could do that, and hopefully you'll be okay. But this is not, you're never going to see this in a textbook and they're going to say buy right here unless it goes straight up and they're cherry picking that for their textbook, right? In real time, which is how we live our lives, it's a little bit difficult. But the decisions behind us, the trend does appear to be clear. And let's hope we stick with this upward trajectory. Speaking of clear, Solana clearly bouncing off of that trend line, which is right here, and then going straight up from there. So these are two of your market leaders, and they're both pointing in the same direction. So it appears that our market is stable at this point. Whatever the Fed said, like gonna cut rates and stuff like that. Everyone thinks you cut rates, inflation, blah blah blah. I don't think they know what the hell's going on. Anyways, um, yeah, so we're up, we're stable, we bounced off of that. We need to get more. Again, talking about passing the higher high. Is this your higher high? Maybe. I mean, it's really, really minor, hardly bounced off the low, but there was some time that passed here. So from that perspective, yes, it could be your high. Uh, your stop now would be under that candle from yesterday, your dead sell stop. That's about 10%, maybe a little bit more. So if you want to play with that, that's fine. If you want to wait for a better chart pattern, which is something I would do, then you're just waiting. All right, onto our top tokens in the top 50. TAO back on the list here. This is crossing some highs. If you want to get in on this one, again, not as clear though. You see the volume aggregation on the lower time frame here, with the sellers able to stick with the buyers, even though you have these green pocket pivot signals, which aren't bad, they're good, but at the same time, it's not. We're not rocketing up like we've seen in some other names. 10% is really good though. It's not that it's bad. There's other coins that are up more uh, that just aren't listed here, but we're not in a bad spot on Bittensor. I do think, with most of these tokens, hopefully we're on the upswing for all of them. And then FET, here's another one. The other top 50 token of the day, we had an alert level here at the 1458. So this one going through that level, volume pretty good. We're not 100% convinced that everything is hunky dory, but 5% above the buy point here. It's right on that edge of being buyable. You don't want to buy more than 5% up. It's 5.18% up. So a little bit of a tough situation, but the overall market, the fact of the matter is that we moved up on the news. That's the important. Remember I said yesterday, it's not what they say, it's how the market reacts to what they said. Market reacted pretty good. They liked the news. They didn't tank the market. So we have stability, we have some uptrend, and hopefully it gets better and we get, kind of like this candle the other day. I said we're going to have like a big up candle for no reason. That's one of those big up candles for no reason. We get one or two more of those and you feel like you've missed the boat. In reality, though, the run has just begun. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to FOMO in, fine. Just have a good stop. We don't have any major buy signals as of yet. The trend line break is good. If you bought the trend line break, you're solid, you're good. But again, you don't want to buy like too far up. maybe that's still viable at 3.5%, but Bitcoin not the most volatile asset any longer. So good stuff. Let's see how we close the day. We'll visit tomorrow and we'll see what the action looks like. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow on Altcoin Buzz Trading.